See how that goes. All right, there it is. Here we go. I don't see anything. What are you talking about? All right, there you go. It should be there. I mean, I see it streaming on mine. It says live. I could see, I don't know, whatever else. Anyway, we're back live. James Wallington. If for some reason you're just joining us, one of the best is with me to debate it because we have a passion for the race. We see the race differently, and I think this episode is going to be, we're going to see some things a little differently, and some things we're going to see the same. So let's get into it.
I might surprise you, Justin. I might surprise you.
All right. We'll see. Well, I know you're very friendly with a lot of the cast as well, so I know that you have connections with them, so you can see things a little differently because of that as well. So Jess and Jag and Tucker and Eric finished an hour ahead of third place and 6 hours ahead, or 6.5 hours ahead of last place. I mean, smoking it. That I didn't know it was that far apart from third place, and definitely not that far apart from last place. That is one hell of a stretch.
Yeah. That was the biggest shock to me when we saw the departure times. I was like, that seems really spread out, especially for that many teams.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
And I didn't notice that, I didn't think that the episode 1 would have enough things into it to cause this much separation between so many different teams. I don't know what I missed.
I would have maybe the flower roadblock, especially when the greenhouse kind of like turned off and the ceiling kind of closed and it got dark. Like they were shutting that place down. So maybe that is kind of what really tripped up everyone to check late.
That is crazy. So I guess that was a really good task to have if you can make people, shuffle up the order. I love that type of stuff. All right, let's get to some of the good stuff. Jess and Jag, Eric and Tucker. We got that. Teams must move. 2 groups should arrive at the same time. So they got two different kind of schedules, but both arriving at the same exact minute at a time. And then a third group, which is not just Megan and Matt, which is 1 hour, supposed to arrive an hour after everybody else. But this is where kind of like, okay, can these trains equal old school plane drama? Like, this is kind of...
I loved it.
This is kind of interesting. I love that. I mean, it seems like there's 3 different groups, and each of the groups had something happen to them, and then one group split into 2, and then it's like, I like this. It was literally 20 minutes before any tasks were done on this episode. 20 minutes of just drama, of travel.
I would almost rather see the episode longer with these types of moments than a task kind of being drawn out longer than it needs to be. So the first 20-30 minutes of this episode, I was here for it. The chaos was perfect, and it really reminded me of old school Amazing Race.
Yeah, it had definitely that feel. And when you say, oh my god, it's in Europe, and you get so mad, it's like, dang it, they're not even leaving Europe. It's not even a real Amazing Race. But if they're going to do stuff like this, where they got the train drama, and they said more trains, more self-drives, okay, those are 2 of the times that there are the other big dramas besides airport drama is these train dramas in Europe, because trains go everywhere and there's 1,000,001 trains. It's not like in the USA where there's like 5 trains that go across the country. There's trains that go everywhere and they leave all over the places. And as you can see from the Berlin train station, there's 2 different in Berlin, which caused the drama. Yeah. And this is and I think let's see, let's get there, because all right, first group herd. Okay, let's get to it. Herd mentality. Everybody got off at the wrong station, just following who? Oh, I'm gonna follow Jess and Jack because they're the best. Let's do it, yay! And then everybody gets off. Literally everybody. Not one other person decided to check on their own. I'm so frustrated.
I know from conversations with some of the teams, I feel like they were. Obviously, it's different with this cast, right? A lot of them, if not all of them, know each other. They've crossed paths at various reality events. So there's clearly history. There's clearly history with the team. So when they're all on this train, they're all sitting around chatting. Where, I know from being an amazing racer, we did things in our downtime to really set ourselves up for success and making sure we had the right information we needed to continue in the leg. So with all of them kind of chatting it up on this train, they're completely missing the station that they needed to get off at. And it was herd mentality. It's because one team got off, they all started to get off. And I did appreciate that Jag and Jazz, though, when everyone was kind of running around the station, you do hear them say at one point, like, let's break away for a minute. Like, they kind of seem to kind of go their own
I
direction.
feel like they're the only ones that are 100% in it for themselves. They understand, okay, it's Big Brother. Anytime that Big Brother's on something, they're going to form alliances. That's just the way Big Brother people are. They were aligned before they even got on the damn show because that they can't help but break all the damn rules. Right? They're like, they can't help. It's like, oh, you were going to be on a show? Okay, let's form an alliance. It doesn't matter what show they're on. These little BB people just always forming alliances. But there are some other alliances because it just so happens to be a couple people dating on this show and that are on different teams, and then exes who are on really good terms, like hanging out still good terms. So no ex drama there, but just some weird I'm gonna help you type of like dynamics that probably could have split that up better with other Big Brother contestants. I don't know. It's like, to me, that kind of takes away, but I don't see Rubina and Christina having a chance at making it to the finals anyway, so I don't think that they can help bring them to the finals. So I don't think that's going to affect it. Joseph and his brother, I think Ding, at some point, they're just going to go ding and dong. I mean, as smart as he is, he's like a lawyer, book smart. They just don't seem street smart enough to hang. They're going to get caught on their own.
That's where I'm going to push back with you, Justin, because I was impressed that Joseph and Adam were the ones that found the train that got in an hour and 25 minutes before the train that they were scheduled to take. And they broke away from the pack. They figured out that information for themselves. Now, obviously, they didn't share that information. They didn't keep that close. They brought in Natalie and Steph. They brought in Jag and Jazz. But what I did like is we heard Adam say, like, we shouldn't go about this alone. And I know some people would argue, like, run your own race, but when you take a risk like that, especially with the train system in Europe, I thought it was actually smart for them to say, let's bring along two teams so that we know we're not competing for last by the off chance the train we take cancels. So I think the fact that we're seeing Joseph and Adam kind of think outside of the box in that way, I think that they could do really well, and they're staying at the top of the pack after two legs.
We'll see. I just think I just think there's like muscle teams, there's enough muscle teams that are smarter than them. Like, you know what I mean? I think Tucker and Eric, they stopped for an ice cream and went and did a rewind, and they still finished like way ahead of everybody else. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they were just like, they're on cruise control, just having a great time, and they're not even really getting into like race mode yet. I just have a feeling they're gonna have a whole nother gear when the time comes. And then Joseph and his brother kind of like, they're not gonna hang out. I don't think they can hang with Eric and them. And Jazz and Jag are just, they're so quick, agile, and smart. And I love that they break away from the pack when the time comes. Anytime that it comes up. All right, so they found the train. It got an hour and 20-minute lead. Kylan, Tyler, Angela, Kat, Alex connection gets canceled. So that, boom, the other group that's coming in, boom, theirs gets canceled. So they end up back with Matt and Megan, basically, you know, fall back an hour back and on that last train. So now this is old school amazing race. There's somebody running in the clear for the win. There's like a group of pack in the win, a clear middle pack, and then a clear far pack because of travel. Normally, that's kind of old school amazing race, right? That's 3 packs.
Thank God that train got canceled, because I feel like it would have just been a predictable episode through and through, because Megan and Matt were an hour behind with the train. So like, I'm glad they got canceled, because now it's like we have 5 teams really competing to not be last.
Yeah, because obviously they're not beasting through the challenges to make up an hour. Like, they don't have that in them, right? And they just don't see the oomph in them at all. Like, they're just happy to be there.
Along for the European adventure. Yeah, they're
happy. It's like, wow, we got invited. It's like, oh, they picked us. Like, how the hell did we get make it? You know what I mean? You know, are you kidding? That's because all of the other ones said no, because there's not enough money in the Amazing Race.
Oh my God.
It is. Every other show guarantees these people money, and this one's like, oh yeah, we guarantee you 500 for last, 1,000.
Yeah, we'll pay you an experience. Is really what it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad that some of the ones that are here are really here to race. And let's get into some of those. Old school tar racing. Has it got clear? Okay, here we go. Roadblock. I like, for a heights task, I really like this style of task rather than I'm going to bungee jump, you know, or the task is over like instantly. They just got to make one quick decision. It's over. This one, you got to crawl out there, and then you got to get down and look down, and it's a whole nother like, okay, we're gonna really make this. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the cemetery at the bottom, just like mwah, chef's kiss. They just sprinkled the cemetery. I was like, I hope that's not AI, right? And then you just throw a cemetery down there, but everybody's commenting on it. So I was like, that's perfect to have a cemetery at the bottom of this thing to really amp it up. So I like, for a heights task, I like this type of task rather than like the classic bungee jump or swing from something.
I would agree, and I'd be curious what the rule was. Like, could people crawl on the beam? Like everyone walked the plank, but I almost feel like I would have crawled because I think I would have felt a little bit more secure. But also with all the crawling babies on the building, I was saying this in Simone and Hannah's recap that they did. I was like, they should have made you all crawl.
Yeah,
Crawling on the side of the tower.
those just weird babies on the side of the building. It just seems so awkward. Don't know what's going on at that, but I guess old school art. It was good. It caused a little bit of drama, not so much separation, but there's always these heights overcome type of things, and I like this one. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Any. I don't know. Was there anything special to talk about on this? I didn't feel like anything stood out from this.
No, I mean, obviously, forward, it was very classic Amazing Race where some teams have to kind of like overcome their fear of heights because we always know what the race is something heights related.
Mhm.
And I thought it was funny that Matt was like, I didn't realize I had a fear of heights until like this very moment. Well, I will say I do like that no one like chickened out. Like it was very much like they committed to it, and it delivered some funny moments with teams.
So I did take one note because Joseph and Adam, Adam is definitely scared of heights, and he didn't want to do a heights challenge. And they're the only ones that looks like they've never seen an episode because all you had to do was literally turn around. And like they had a clue to go to the name of this place for a while. So if they just looked it up, they would have seen that this place is a tall, weird looking building. What are you going to do with this place? What do you think? There's nothing else around except up. So it's a heights task. It's like everybody else figured it out except them. They're like, damn, you should have done this one. And I was like, what do you mean?
Context clue. We always used our surroundings. Whenever we pulled a roadblock clue, we were like, okay, if there's something tall around us, it's heights.
It's like, let's look around.
Yeah, it was a hard path whenever that happened. So, context clues.
Yeah, and so I wanted and didn't do too much separation, but there was a little separation here going from point A to point B as Tucker and Eric seemed to just, we're just going to skip the detour. They were like, wow, this is a pretty fast leg. We thought it was going to be detours and tasks, and I guess not. Let's go see Phil. Like, if you feel something is wrong on the race, something is wrong on the race.
I was just about to reiterate that. Like,
100%.
If you're questioning it, there's a reason you're questioning it.
Everything in your body's saying hello, hello, and you're like, yeah.
Especially if you're like, oh, this leg felt really short. Yeah, they're not meant to be short. So like, figure out what
one
you did.
detour. You did one roadblock and then pit stop. You think that's ever happened? There wasn't even like a route info task. It was just like, what the hell? Yeah. So that was just like they just seem like they'll never get mad at each other. For like two brothers who are just constantly smiling and always in a good mood. They have a great relationship, and they didn't panic at all. They just went and did their thing and literally finished in the same exact place after stopping, getting fridge magnets and some ice cream.
Yep. Which I thought was a little iconic.
I mean, yeah, they're giving Guido vibes, they're giving Guido vibes, just stopping, having some fun. Old school Amazing Race. That's what they did back then, right? They just, hey, screw it. We're going to have our own little vacation. All right, so let's go to the detour. Which one you taking? Attention to detail, or one with a definite ending, but it is a find your way around the city type of task?
Will and I went back and forth on this a little bit. I think like with a memory task, if we had already done one and like let's say we knocked it out of the park, we probably would have gravitated towards chairs. But in this situation, with it being leg 2, Will and I both agreed that we probably would have done the goblet side of the detour because it's more straightforward. You know exactly where you have to go pick up the goblets. You were given a list of exactly what number of goblets you needed in each color. and then all you had to do is ask for directions. Like that to me is straight to the point, in and out, where you're not going to have to worry about memorizing 11 different things. It's just way more to the point.
Yeah, one with a definite ending. Unless that was our rule, unless it was a specific skill set that we had, we're going with the one with a definite ending. You know,
And with the memorization, if you're bunched up with other teams, you have to wait for them to get checked. So it's just more time is added to that side of the detour than, like what you said, there's a definite ending with the delivering of the goblets.
yeah,
I do wish, and this is where I think it was maybe designed a little poorly. I wish that each of the teams would have had different destinations to deliver to, because I think that would have prevented like Natalie and Stephanie and Joseph and Adam from herd mentality and working together to figure out where those locations were. Which mad props to Jag and Jazz, they didn't wait around. Despite the three of them kind of all, we're gonna race together. Jag and Jazz were like already ahead, and they didn't help them until they had already finished the detour.
That's the best. They make it seem like they're still helping, but they're like really just running in front of the pack. Like they have the charisma to do it. But, yeah, like see, like they had the charisma to do it. Like if I tried to do that, there was no way that I could do that and make it seem like it's genuine. You know, like they just know I'm racing for first. I can't not race for first, and that's just my mentality. I don't think anybody's better than me, so I'm not following anybody. I don't need the safety net of like I can't be the only one on this flight because just in case. I don't need that safety net. My fucking skills will make up for it. Give me a lead. Screw a safety net. That's how I always like. Yeah, whatever. After leg one, it was like screw it. If we can come back from that, like we fell an hour behind and we're still in the race. Yeah, we can survive anything.
I mean, it served you well with the amount of first place you got. So
except the last one. All right, I really love the memory task though. I did like this memory task because the letters didn't really go together that like normal letters go together, and the way it was said was like you had to like use their tongue in a weird way. So I like that it was hard to pronounce. I like that they had to go around and there were similar looking things like the one Christina and Rabina messed up on. So I really like the way this memory challenge was set up, and it allowed teams that were better to pass, like Hannah and her sister and Simone, like geniuses, just kind of like, what the hell? She's just like she sounds like she's speaking Dothraki, and she's like, and it was a second try.
It was so impressive, and like even like jumping back to like the beginning of the episode where they made that minor mistake of getting off the metro to find the television tower, when Hannah like pulled out Czech and started to speak in the language, I was just like, damn. And then she shared with us that whenever they had downtime, like on trains or wherever they were, they would talk to like a conductor or like an attendant on the train and like ask them key phrases in that language to make sure that they had what they needed to know to really kind of navigate the country. So I do think that shows just how sharp Hannah and Simone are. And we even got a little bit of a backstory with that package at the beginning of the episode of them talking about.
She's like a Mensa or something. She's like, some gifted programmer. She's at 24 masters, doctor. Like, all right, Hannah, go ahead, girl. And she can dance.
And they also are really big fans of the race too. Yeah. So they're not to be underestimated. I think. No, because I
think they're both dancers. I know that I've seen Hannah at a couple events where she's like choreographing stuff for the whole crew. Oh, yeah. Like she's like,
and in like the season preview, you saw a glimpse of them wearing some kind of traditional dress, and they like hit their pose so strongly. I'm like, they're gonna knock a dance competition.
Yeah, which is usually the hardest competitions of the season, are these like singing or dancing competitions. So we'll see if they could stick it around. Obviously, we know now that they'll be here for the dance competition. So we'll see if they can get ahead of the pack and use it. Or at least use some boys as shields until they get to the end and get rid of them. We'll see how it plays out. Jas and Jag always thinking about the win. Tucker and Eric passed 3 teams. Still got to get some ice cream, get some magnets, and still come in the same place. Christina and Rabina take 10 attempts to finally get it after they realized their mistake. Hannah and Simone's second try. They were the ones that just breezed right through that one. And, we got to the pit stop, and when we get to the pit stop, the greeters are almost useless at this point. Not one word came from the greeter the whole time. He's like, "Do you guys know this guy?" Nobody knew it except our flautist. Our flautist.
Yep.
And she knew first name, last names, like oh yeah, okay, Anton DeBergiac. Everybody's like, oh. But you could see who did some research while they were on a train. I mean, if you're gonna go to that country, one of the most famous people from that country, you should know that person. But anyway, Jas and Jag looking strong again, back-to-back wins. Joseph and Adam bouncing from the back of the pack to the front of the pack. And I don't know about Natalie and Stephanie, little mid pack jumping up to the top three. They got the right alliance going there, and I don't know how much they can hang with that alliance yet. I haven't seen enough. I know she was a little fireball on the challenge. I don't know her sister that well, but we'll see what they have. Eric and Tucker, you know what they got. They got charisma and they got physical abilities. And Tucker's actually really smart. Don't know much about his brother, but I know Tucker's actually really smart. Even though he's like, he seems like just a bro.
Well, I mean, when they showed up to the detour 8th, Rubina and Chelsea said at the detour, I did, Big Brother with Tucker. Like, he's so good at memorization. And then bam, like Tucker and Eric were out of there. So
instantly.
He is, he's chaotic, but he's good.
Yeah, he has all of the skills that it takes. I mean, he's a good athlete, smart, and very charismatic. So maybe they're charismatic enough to avoid the U-turn and get out of that drama and point it towards like Joseph and Adam as kind of maybe, something like that, or Jas and Jag at this point, if there's a vote U-turn, obviously. But we'll see. I think there's going to be different kinds of U-turns on this season, vote U-turns. I think there's going to be. I heard that this season has the first triple U-turn, which is crazy. I have to see what that entails.
They need a public vote U-turn because I loved it in 37. Like, it gave really great reactions, especially with like Scott and Lori. But with the Big Brother cast, to vote publicly, like, there's going to be really good drama and tension, and
well, they're going to be ready. See, that's the thing. This group was going to be ready. They're going to, as you can see from the next episode, there's already team scheming, and that scheming is happening. Yeah. So if you like scheming on this on Amazing Race, you're going to see a whole lot this season. The alliances are, they're going to piss people off because, hey, I'm captain of the run your own race team, but I didn't win, so maybe it's not the best strategy, right?
Look, like for instance, like Jag and Jazz, like, it's finding yourself in an alliance, but knowing when to help versus not help. Like, Jag and Jazz are still running their own race, but when it helps them to have those types of relationships, they'll benefit from it, but then they keep going their own way. So
of that group, though, they're the only ones that are running their own race, right? The other two are all along for the ride, I feel.
100%, which is why it's like knowing when to help versus not, but also why are you helping the team that like literally now has gotten first place 2 times?
It's like, come on, bro. Yeah, and yes, in the chat, if you spoke Russian, Russian's very close. I would definitely take the language task if I had that skill. Like, if that's a skill set I have, always take it. Like, if you speak Russian or you have an advantage of speaking Czech or you can read it, definitely take the chairs. That's the advantage. Go for it. Yeah,
that would have been a task like Leo and Alana would have done, and they would have crushed it. Like,
that's right.
Leo always pulled stuff out, and I was always so impressed.
All right, so on this one, they said that the Ufleku task was a redo from the All-Star season. Let's see. So that is the only real trivia from this episode. Is that that was from the All-Star season. But let's see. When we're looking at strong teams staying at the top, did you pick your winners or top 3, or did you do that yet? Are you that far along in the season to make your predictions?
I haven't actually said or felt strongly in regards to any of the teams on our recap, at least, but I feel like I have high hopes for Hannah and Simone. I feel very good about them. I think that they are smart, and like we talked about with the dance task, I just think that that's going to be where they can really kind of get above some of the other teams. I do think I would not be surprised with Jag and Jazz. I think that they're in it for the long haul, and I don't know if giving them the express pass was the right move. They're gonna be a team that I don't really see them needing to use it.
And the one time that they need it is probably the time you don't want them to have it, right?
So I just think that that express pass is going to give them the buffer that they need to kind of stay at the top.
Yeah.
Like I can see them using it on the very last leg that they need to use it and using it to get first.
Yeah.
Like there's no way they're going to use it to get themselves out of last place.
I tried to convince Texas to give me the express pass for that reason. I'm like, listen, we're gonna be at the front of the pack anyway. Why do you want to bring another team up here? Like, what are you gonna bring me from first place to third place? And you think what that's gonna do? And I was like, what are you gonna knock me from first to third? Oh no, I'm gonna fall so far behind. Just give me the express pass and we'll just call it even. And they were like, nah, bro. I'm like, all right.
I do think I think it's gonna help. I think it's gonna help Taylor and Kyland. Like, they are at the back of the pack right now, but I think that express pass is what's gonna get them to the top, and then I think they're gonna stay at the top.
Yeah, I think once they get the rhythm.
Yes, it's gonna definitely benefit their race. So it's just a matter of time. I think once we see them bounce to the top, I would be shocked if they ever fell back to the bottom.
And I'd be curious to see bunch points on this season as well. Like, because of they're letting them do like trains.
I think we need a little bit of an equalizer.
Yeah.
I'm worried that if we don't, I think it's just going to be like the bottom's just going to kind of get picked off.
Well, that's
as
what
we go. I mean,
like the COVID seasons where it was 15 minutes, type of seasons where it was like, it's hard to kind of back of the pack to catch up because they're like an hour and 15, 20 minutes behind everybody.
And our season was primarily equalizers with the exception of one leg. We were always departing an airport to start a leg at the exact same time. So, and that made it feel a little bit more intense because there really was no room for error. Where this, it's like if you're an hour ahead of another team, like it gives you the chance to go get ice cream and a magnet before getting. You know what I mean? Like, I hope we get some kind of equalizer in the next leg or two.
Well, the next leg, it looks like driver's seat is back. I like the driver's seat from last season. It caused some great drama. I think this season is going to cause some more drama. From looking at it, it looks like there are 2 tiles that say 1 crate, 5 tiles that say 2 crates, and 4 tiles that say 3 crates. So obviously, somebody's going to have 3 times the work. Somebody's going to have twice as much work. And then, 2 teams are going to, So it's basically saying, who do you like? Who do you somewhat like, and who are you totally against? Put your cards on the table, and we see how well that worked out last season. So,
well, I do hope with next episode we'll obviously see the departure times to really kind of know how spread out everyone was checking into the pit stop, and we know it's going to be self-drive. The description on CBS Press Express said something about like self-drive.
Perfect.
And so, but if everyone's like hours apart from each other, if I just feel like a driver's seat would make more sense to be on an equalizer where like everyone has a chance to get it and also everyone is fair game to put it on, because I feel like the strategy with the driver's seat is, well, if someone's 2 hours behind me, then why would I piss people off in the middle who's still probably going to have some kind of lead? Like, I just think from a design standpoint, the driver's seat needs to be on an equalizer.
And it was last season, so maybe they'll do it this season because they were right behind. Everybody else was like right behind them when they got there. So we'll see.
So maybe they'll get to a car rental place and it's like not open till 8 a.m. and then everyone's bunched up again. And that would be my hope.
Yeah, something like that. Or everybody's got to pick up their cars at a certain time. Or there's only one train that goes to this particular location. So I think they're pretty good about that. They won't go 3-4 episodes without a bunch point. Amazing Race likes to bunch people up. So we see Alex struggling at hockey, and we hear that once he starts struggling, he tends to spiral. So we'll see how that goes. We see beer flying everywhere. There's like keg tapping or bottles being sealed or something going on. Nobody seems to be having a good time with that one, but I like that. Some slapsticky type stuff looks like it's coming up on this season. All in all, do you have high hopes for this season? Just see where it goes, or you were like, I hate Big Brothers on Amazing Race.
Justin, before I was, and I feel like maybe from AfterBuzz, like I was very vocal about stunt casting, like it, and I think because obviously I had applied for so long, I hated stunt casting because it's like, well, that just took a whole chance away from people who've been applying for years. So I do understand the criticisms of why people don't like it. But I think this type of stunt casting works better than like a social media season. Like Big Brother people are super competitive. Everyone's there to win. I do also like that some of them aren't like diehard Amazing Race fans because I think it's hilarious when teams make subtle mistakes. Like it just makes
Yeah.
the episodes interesting and how do they recover from that kind of adversity. Um, I know people are critical about the full European adventure, but I do think it was nice that Phil prefaced in episode one that that's what this show was really kind of inspired on. Like that's when Elise
Yeah.
and Bertram started to talk about friends traveling through Europe. So I think it's a nice change of pace, but it's also kind of like, well, we just saw that with seasons 33 and 34 being COVID seasons. So how are you making this one different? So I think with the game elements, like the driver's seat, potential U-turns coming up, I think that'll help shake it up a little bit. So I do have high hopes. And it's more fun knowing these people. Like
Yeah.
I knowing them from Big Brother and just kind of what they brought to that show. Like I think they did a good job with the casting. And when I ran into Elise in July for Laura's baby shower, that was the thing she said. She's like, with these teams, if you took Big Brother out of the equation, like these are the types of teams we still would have cast on the Amazing Race at the end of the day, based on their
Yeah.
relationships dynamics alone. And I think remove Big Brother from the picture, these teams are going to deliver, and I have high hopes.
Yeah. It's the most set of siblings they've ever had on a season, and most family teams they've ever
Yeah.
had on a season. Um,
Yeah.
and we got to remember, there's only one member that was everybody. The other member of the team is a regular person. For everybody saying we want regular people, as if like I that irks me because it's like I'm no longer a regular person because I was on the TV. Like I was on a show for 3 weeks of my 50 years on Earth. I'm no longer regular because 3 weeks of my life I got to be on a television show 10 years ago. So I'm not regular anymore. Meanwhile, they thought if that I acted the same way that they say people who are on, they were like, "Oh, you're hamming up for the camera." No, I'm just a kid living a fucking dream, and this is the best thing I've ever done in my life. Why would I not be in a good mood, smiling when people ask me questions, and I'm good at it? Oh my god, it was like, duh, shit, let's do this. Come on, man. Be happy. Like I love to see people who love the race. I love to see that these people start to respect the race. I hated like, season 30 winners who are obviously, a bunch of people who don't respect the race, don't support the race, never talk about the race. They don't care. It's how they made their money because they sucked at the shows they were actually on. So it's like, that stuff. And
Yeah.
and their fans cheated to help them win that season. So they didn't deserve that anyway. The worst winners ever, season 30. So anyway, whatever. I guess we won't talk about those, but they kind of ruined my taste for Big Brother. But after having met a lot of this cast and knowing this cast and seeing and feeling how much they actually love the race, knowing they're going to talk positive about the race, that they actually want to go on the race, tell other Big Brothers and stuff how fun it was, rather than like, stop being greedy trying to wait for traders to give you a call or snake in the grass or whatever hell else you're waiting to get on. It's
Yeah.
too hot for
If
TV.
they're fans of the race and they appreciate the experience, then I think viewers should just be happy about that. Like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like I can vouch for Christine and Rabina. Like before Big Brother entered the picture for Rabina, she wanted to do Amazing Race. Like that was the show she dreamed of doing. It's something that her and Christine watched with their mother growing up. So like
No.
they loved the show. But then Big Brother happened, and that was just a once in a lifetime opportunity. And she said yes, but never did she picture that opportunity then becoming an opportunity for the Amazing Race. And it's like
Yeah.
her journey to get on the show she always wanted to do is different than most people, but she's now getting to live out that dream and getting to do it with her sister. So I'm happy with how this cast kind of shook out.
Yeah, and it's going to be fun to see. Jag is the winningest Big Brother player ever, and they're off to set the record to be the winningest Amazing Race team ever, as they are undefeated right now, 2-0, going back to back.
Literally. Oh my God.
So we could be watching history here. So appreciate greatness, shall we? Have to dust off our cleats to get back out there, show these Big Brother players. I'm getting old. I'm gonna be 50 this year. I don't know how much longer I got, Bertram. Please, come on.
Oh my God. That's the thing, and I feel like we've talked about this too. Like you can literally take any cast and put them on a different season and a different route. And like there's just so many variables that could
Yeah.
literally change up the placement. It's like
Yeah.
this season's so central to Europe, but like let's say it wasn't just Europe and it was around the world. Like what if the first two eliminations would have been different? We don't know. Like the race is so unpredictable.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could predict a couple teams. Well, you could predict a couple teams that that all right, they're not going to make it far because that's it's a lot easier to predict than the winner of the season. Like you can look at some teams and be like, yeah, they're just not going to make it that far. Like we knew, I already got. I picked my top three, bottom three, middle of the pack. The two of the people who left already were in my bottom three, and you know what I mean. It's like we already know. It's like it wasn't that difficult to figure out, but probably Angela's next. That was my third one, so we'll see. So we'll see how that plays out. If that plays out, that's my bottom three. We get them out. But I think there's just there's a couple trim the fat, and then I think the race is going to get really good, and I'm really looking forward to the season. I'm going to give it everything, just like I give every other season. I don't think the Amazing Race could do anything to make me not watch a season. Survivor. There was a couple seasons I didn't watch because it was just like, just didn't like, But
yeah, tuned in here and there. But with the race, like
always,
fans always are like, it's like not, they don't get the same love or treatment as Survivor or Big Brother. But I'm also like, let's just be glad the show is still kicking, it's still on, it's still thriving. Like they can put it up at any time of the year and people are still going to watch. Like that's something about the race that stays consistent. So may not be a desirable casting theme for a lot of fans out there, but just be grateful. We got another season and 39's filming now. It's just there's still so much life in the show.
Yep, and me and James will be on 40 racing against each other. Dang, it's gonna be crazy.
That shit would be competitive.
It'd be I'd love to see a best of the best. Have all the most competitive teams just freaking scratching each other's eyes out to get to the end.
You'd hope for 40 that they would go big like that. I mean,
well, they might bring like fan favorites. All the fan favorites back, and it'll be like the 4th time for the Globetrotters, and like the 10th time for the Cowboys. It's like,
it's for these teams that have only raced once.
I just don't want to ever see the Cowboys again. Can we just do that? I don't mind the Globetrotters; they're fun, but I just don't ever.
Could they even be on it? Because didn't one of them run for politics, and like they're kind of political, and like I don't know. I feel like you can't be up here in politics.
Well, I mean, if you could say racist shit and get away with it and still be on the show, I don't know. Anyway, homophobic stuff, I don't know. Anyway, and still be somehow the favorite. Anyway, enough about that. Thank you so much, James. Why don't you tell the people where they could see you do your various things that you do?
Oh yeah, I mean, Will and I do our recap every Friday. Other than that, we're just vibing on Instagram and TikTok.
Well, tell them where they can find you. What do they search?
Our conjoined it's Will and James, and then my own is Wallington.
There you go. Check them out. They're always at fun events in LA or somewhere around the globe, usually off in the South Pacific on some island, touching each other's toes or something with manicures, just like, hey, we're chilling. So go check them out while they're traveling. I'm stuck in Scranton with the Dunder Mifflin people. No, I love you and appreciate you, James. Thank you so much for coming out. And everybody here hanging out, you guys are the real ones on my special night. I'm sorry this radio job is beating the crap out of me, but it's awesome. I love being back in the radio. I will get back on my game. I'm gonna next week, and from then on, I'll have guests from this season. I know you guys like that. I normally don't get the first couple teams because I tend not to have the best things to say about them, and I either have to be fake when they're on, or be real and lose friends potentially, or say something negative. So that's usually why I don't have the first couple people on. Let's be honest.
It's respectful. It's a respectable thing.
If you don't have nothing nice to say, right? I love my Amazing Race family, and I love all the people who love the show. So thank you so much for supporting the show. I appreciate y'all. Now get out there and go support the Amazing Race. Even bad Amazing Race is better than no Amazing Race. Got it? Bad Amazing Race, better than no Amazing Race. So let's keep the Amazing Race going. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for hanging out. Nah, James ditched me early, but that's okay, James. You go ahead.
I did not mean to close out of this.
He was like, I'm not sticking around for that
thinking-
goodbye. It's like, screw. Anyway, thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. If you're listening on podcasts, oh yeah, the podcast will be back. I'm switching hosts for podcasts, so it'll be back next week. Sorry about the interruption, but I got a new radio job, so I can actually steal their podcasting form, and I'm going to do that. Thanks. Cool.